Scared the living cheeses out of me. So let me do it like this. So we are now live on YouTube.
Alrighty, let's get it.
Let's go.
Craze Boogie is here.
You want to do your intro first?
No, I don't have no intro. I mean, it's just, it's laid back.
All right.
This is the morning time right now.
Oh, okay.
We're getting ready to have some coffee. About coffee.
Run it back.
Craze is here. I'm here. The show's directed by Justin Treese. Clarence is here as well. Our guest today is founder of Don Carvajal Cafe.
Yes, sir.
Cafe.
Yes, sir.
Hector Castillo Carvajal
Cafe.
is in the building. Welcome to the show, Hector.
Rocking.
Oh, he's got his coffee ready.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Unfortunately, we don't shoot at 8 a.m. That would be so dope. I'll have a nice coffee right now.
Yeah.
Hector, so tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I've seen you everywhere. We got a lot of people in common, Steve Lucen, a whole bunch of other people. I saw that you were with Aki Chilling. Shout out to Aki Chilling, the podcast. I've seen your product. Who is Hector? Give us some little background on you, and then talk about Don Carvajal Cafe.
Life story. I want you to start from the humble beginnings.
The humble beginnings to the $1 million yachts you're in now.
Oh, let's go. You ready?
I love how you emphasize cafe at the end. That's just my part right there. That's it for me. So for me, I was born in the Dominican Republic in Mani. That's the southern region of the island. So your boy ate a lot of mangoes growing up.
Let's go.
I came to New York City, to the Bronx in Fordham when I was 8 years old. Literally like 2 weeks after my birthday. It was like a gift. It was like a late birthday gift. Like, ooh, new country. What is this? So it was everything brand new to me. I had a huge language barrier, culture shock.
I'm sorry. How old were you when this happened?
8 years old.
8. All right.
Yeah. So I came here at an interesting time. I think that's the age where you're like figuring out you're a human and you're alive and like.
Straight up. What year is this?
2004.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came here, started elementary school, or at least what do you call it here?
Junior high school.
Junior high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so,
It was third grade. I don't even know what you consider that. I don't know. Elementary. I don't know. So I came to school here. It was very interesting at first, but I was always determined to just figure it out, move forward, learn, educate myself. And went to middle school. It was cool. Very interesting going to middle school in the Bronx. I think 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11 for like any teenager in New York City, which is interesting. Like it was a crazy time. Like you had a Mermon. It was like,
yo, yo, what junior high school you went to?
I went to Chris. MS 45 on Fordham.
Ooh, let's go 45.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know folks from there.
yeah. So I went to school around there. Gang activity was pretty interesting around that time. You know what I mean? It was very interesting. But luckily I didn't fall into the crazy stuff. Then I got into Christopher Columbus High School. At some point, I was doing good, but then I eventually dropped out of high school. And I just started working, and that didn't go too well. So my mom found out, and then she basically, you know that classic mom punishment where they send you to the yard. Ya tú sabes. So they sent me to the campo, bro. And I was there for 6 months, basically just farming and just picking onions and watermelons and squash and being a real life farmer. Like, one day I really asked her, I was like, I ran out of money. I don't have any more money. Can you send me some money? Because she was here and I was in the yard. And she was, nah, you gotta work for your money. Like that's how we all got it growing up. You gotta go work. You gotta go wake up at 5, go to the field, work. The whole day in the sun and get your money. And you're making like $10 a day. Like you're working like 6, 7, 8
dollars or pesos.
$10. $10, which is pretty bad. So that was very interesting for me. And once I saw that was it for me. My biggest realization when I was over there was like this mom who had 3 children on the farm. And I looked at her and I was like, oh man, like, shouldn't these kids be at school? Like, there's 3 kids, they're like 10, 11, 12. you know, and I think they should be in school. And she was like, well, if they're not here, then I don't know how we're gonna sustain ourselves to eat dinner and breakfast, or like I don't know how we're gonna survive if they're not here working with me. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at her at that moment, and I was like, damn, I sound like a hypocrite because I'm in school in New York City and it's free. They even give you a Metro card. They even give you food, and I'm just over here, you know, messing around. You know, not going to school, cutting classes, messing around with my friends. So at that point, I came back and I went back to a transfer high school. I transferred to Smith. It was Bronx Haven High School. You know, I graduated 2 years later. Then I went to CUNY and studied business administration. Then I switched to liberal arts, and I graduated with my associates from CUNY. Then I went to University of Rochester Upstate, which is where Don Carvajal Cafe sparked in my dorm. And it was a class project for the University of Rochester. It was a marketing class project, and I wanted to make a marketing plan and a business plan or something. You know, the professor was like, you could do it for a brand like Porsche, BMW, Apple, Amazon. I was like, nah, I don't want to do it for them. They already got their stuff. I want to do it for something that I was thinking about, and it's this coffee brand. And he was like, listen, if you could convince your team that you know that they're comfortable with it and they want to, that's what they actually want to do because it's a team project.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure, you guys can all do it. So then, luckily, they said yes. We did it. Ending of the term, we got top of the class, best grade for the marketing project, and that's that. At the ending of the presentation, this is comes from one of my friends at Onyx, right? And at the ending of the presentation, there was a bag on the table. It was like two of them, and somebody from the back of the class was like, "Hey, that bag right there, is that bag for sale?" And I was like, "Yeah, $17.95." And she was like, "Well, I got a 20." And I was like, "I don't got change." She said, "You could just keep the 20." And just threw me a 20, right? And just bought the bag. I was like, "This girl just bought a bag for $20." My mom buys 2 for $5 Bustelos and stuff. Like, man, you giving me $20 for a bag of coffee?
Yeah.
That's different. So okay, I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. So then somebody else asked and they bought another bag, and then I was like, all right, cool, that's all I needed to know. I went to my dorm that same day. I took my credit card and I reserved the name in New York State. I swear to God, I took the name and I was like, yeah, I'm reserving that name real quick, like, you know, it was a good idea, good plan. People liked it, and I did the research, man. Like it made sense. Like, you know, the coffee industry is growing, every day, every year, every month. The coffee has been huge forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we grew up on that culture, but now we're moving to this wave where it's like it's not
Craft,
just it's more
different
craft,
brands, just like the beer.
exactly. It's like craft beer, same thing,
Yeah.
craft. You know what I mean? So now we're moving to this new picture where people are treating it like wine. You know what I mean? Like this box, you know, costs $60. $60 for 8 ounces of coffee.
Yo,
I forgot the name of my brother. So for Christmas, he gave me, I forgot the name of the stupid coffee, but it's super expensive because basically what they do is they feed coffee beans to cats.
Yeah.
You know which one that is? I'm talking about. Like?
Yeah.
And they wait for the coffee beans to process through the cat's body.
Yeah.
And once it comes out, they take those beans and they make coffee out.
Yeah, it's like $300 a pound.
what?
Yeah.
Wait, whoa.
So it's one of the most expensive coffees on this planet.
Wait a second.
But to get back to your point,
No. Not just gonna skip over the fact that you drank.
no, I didn't drink it. Benny gave me the coffee as a gift, and I don't have the machine that goes with those pots. All right, so, but Benny wants to try it.
The Nespresso ones probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the small espresso caps.
Yeah.
So coffee, just like beer, like in the last, I would say 5 to 10 years, craft beers have become a thing. Like people don't want a Bud Light, you know, give me an IPA. What type of IPA? Where is it done? I'm drinking a Blue Moon right now, and I'm mad at myself because when I went to the store, I went to get a specific pumpkin beer, and they didn't have it. Coffee's the same thing. When I go drink coffee and I'm buying the bag, you know, we grew up in our household with that yellow canister.
Yeah.
Three things that were always there was milk, that yellow canister, and sugar.
Yeah.
But now we're moving into, you know, is this from Colombia? What type of bean? What type of flavor? What type of roast? Cold brews. There's just so much.
Yo, but how did you make the connection? I feel like you know, I know that that agricultural background that you had in your teenage years, when you were, you know, that period of time that you mentioned, but like, why specifically coffee? Like, what was the? Because I know it's Don Carvajal. I don't really know who that is, but I'm gonna assume.
I'm assuming that's his last name.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's my last name.
and
I'm assuming that's
that's like an ancestor of yours, or like,
or your uncle or grandfather or something.
Yeah, it's my grandfather. Yeah, so the last name is Carvajal, and that's my mother's dad. And when I came up with the idea, you know, I wanted to be a brand that people looked at it and it felt natural. Like it was just like, oh, this brand looks like, you know, it's something that has been in the family for generations. And it's not that we haven't done coffee for generations. We've been a family of agriculturists for a really long time. We just never did. And when I built the brand, I wanted the people to have this real figure, like who they could trust. You know what I mean? Like it seems trustworthy. It seems like a family brand. You know what I mean? So that's really the concept that I wanted to convey from it. And I just wanted people to rock with it, to feel natural with it, to feel organic, and just, you know, let us in their homes, like welcome us. You know what I mean? It's a big task to sit on somebody's shelf, like, you know.
I mean, that's a dope legacy, you know, to like even
leave behind, yeah, and establish.
Right. Yeah, and sometimes I get that question, you know, would I ever sell my company? And it's tough because I attach my family's name to it. You know what I mean? Like if it was a different name, you know, Don Julio and Julio, I don't even know who that is. Would have been whatever. Like, yeah, I would have probably been more open to that. But just the fact that I attached the family component to it makes it harder for me to be like, yeah, I'll sell it for a certain amount of dollars.
Well, it's gonna happen. One of these big conglomerates are gonna come and
it's pretty scary.
They're gonna put a price on it, and they're gonna ask you.
Like I've seen a lot of brands, you know, been sold once or twice and swap hands 3 times. At that point, like the real meaning of the brand gets lost. You know what I mean? Like when there's been so many cooks in the kitchen, man, like it's just gets lost. And I think about that all the time, you know, but hopefully I can organically grow and just keep it rocking and pass
I mean, but we live in a day now. I mean, I know back in the day that it was easy. It was more kind of that style. I feel though nowadays more indie brands are surviving. They are building their own, you know, millions and billions and their companies and franchising out and growing a little bit more. I mean, obviously it's a lot of hard work, but I think if there's a time, now is a great time for a lot of, and not just, you know, brands and you're seeing it with even artists. You know, so many artists aren't even backed up by labels anymore. They're just indie now because it's working, because everything's driven by the people, everything's driven by your fan base, by, you know, your consumers.
Right.
Yo, that's a good point. I feel like on your brand online is really dope, because I see it as like a really like indie brand like that on your IG. You guys put there's a lot of intent behind the way you guys showcase this stuff.
I think Craze froze. But now let's go to the heart and soul of the coffee, which is the bean.
Yeah.
Take us through your process, man. I know it's if you're gonna start a brand where you wanna have like an exclusive good coffee, you gotta start with the beans. I mean, I make the joke all the time about Curb Your Enthusiasm, Latte Larry, where Larry David wants to start his own, and they have this joke where it's all about the beans. Like, how do you go about your process, choosing what regions you want to use, or what kind of beans you want to go with?
Yeah, I always tell people that there's a title in coffee. It's called a Q grader. That's the person who's a certified professional to grade and cup a coffee. Like they'll tell you the truth about the coffee, right? Like I don't know what you call it, the wine folks, Smolino or something like that.
What's the wine connoisseur? Person that knows about wine. What's the name? Is connoisseur?
Yeah, connoisseur.
Yeah, wine connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
Yeah.
Essentially, so in coffee, it's called the Q grader. That's the person who's professionally certified to cup coffee. I'm not that, but one day I will be. I just don't have the time right now. But it's one of those things where I honestly, like, I come from the Bronx, and I'll tell you this much: one roasting class in certain spaces that last an hour or two costs $3,000.
How much?
Now I'm
$3,000.
It's a roast coffee, right? Just not even about the green part. So I don't got that kind of money, right? Some people do, I don't, right? So I come from an environment where like I've always grown up in an underprivileged, under-resourced environment. So it was really like if it's either somebody's gonna do it for you or you're gonna do it for yourself. Like you might go to a nonprofit, like, yo, listen, I'm trying to get this or that. If it works out, it works, but if it doesn't, then it's on you. You know what I mean? So
No guarantees.
no guarantee. So like I read books on coffee, you know, recommended by professionals in the industry. Because a book might cost $40, not $3,000. You know what I mean? So I think the knowledge that's in a book of $40 is worth that $3, $4, $5, $10,000. You know, so point is, I self-educated myself. You know, I really trust myself and my instincts on what's good coffee. I get to know my customers really well. You know, I put out stuff. I give away free coffee. I'll mail you coffee. I'll go to your house and drop some off. Maybe not now, but before COVID. You know, and I'll be like, listen, tell me what you think. Like, what's your honest opinion? Like now we have Keurig pods, right? But for the last 8 months, I was dropping off pods at people's houses. Like, yo, just don't worry about it. Tell me what you think. And then they would give me feedback, and I would tweak it and do this and do that. And like 8 months later, I have a box that's ready to sell. But that's my process. You know what I mean? Like I'll get like 60 people's opinions before I even put it out. But for me, I just know what my customers want. You got to get to know your customers. You know, you got to get to know your demographic. What do they want? How do they want it? You know, everybody's customer is different. You know what I mean? And I don't like saying other names, brands, but the typical brands, the leading brands that you go to every morning that are in your neighborhood, that are in Manhattan, they have a different demographic. You know, the way it works is like, if somebody buys coffee from me, it means they stop buying coffee from them. You really don't see people buying two types of coffees at the same time, or at least two brands.
I mean, I do that for specific reasons. It depends on my mood, what type of coffee I want to drink that day. But I get what you're saying. People are loyal to their brands.
Right. So there's brand loyalty and stuff like that, you know? So my secret sauce, I would say, if I was to tell any up and coming entrepreneurs, really get to know your demographic and really get to know your customers. And then they're going to tell you what they want and they're going to tell you what they're looking for. And you need to be very, very attentive of what they say, because if you don't tailor it to what they're saying, then you're not going to get far, you know? It's like a relationship. If your girl says she doesn't like roses, then get her lilies. You know what I mean? Like, listen to what they're saying and take it into consideration, you know? And that's what I do with my customers. And I always, even the smallest DM about anything, I look at it, I read it, I respond, you know, because it's a real person giving you real feedback. Companies pay for feedback. You're getting it for free. You know what I mean?
So I have a question, because I am, believe it or not a coffee drinker.
It's okay.
I don't. It's
the only Latin woman in the world that doesn't drink.
Not only that, to make matters worse, I'm from Costa Rica. Oh, so I like do damage to my own heritage. They're like, how could you not?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm sorry.
I know.
Listeners in Costa Rica right now have just taken away your Costa Rica
Listen,
card.
My daughter, I in a landslide, my daughter drinks coffee. She's 5. She'll ask me for a cup. I'm like, why? From where? I was like, mommy doesn't even own a cafetera. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I know. And so what would you say to somebody like, you know, I get that question. I'm a mom. I'm always working. How do you not drink coffee? Maybe I just haven't found, like you said, maybe I'm one of those type of people that like a certain twist, like a gourmet rather than whatever is out there, because I just don't seem to get the point. I can have like a caramel frappuccino and be okay, but like I'm not gonna go out there and like go have like a café con leche or like my best friend who is probably gonna walk in any minute now. She loves coffee. She like cannot live without it. I remember we went on a trip to Puerto Rico and she was like, listen, I'm not going on this trip with you. I'm not getting on that plane if you don't drink a shot of espresso with me. And I'm like, okay. And I
Puerto
drank
Rican
that
coffee.
and
Ya coño is really good.
Yo, I was like this crazy crash. So maybe that's what I don't like about it. So what do you have like recommendations for a starter, for a newbie, for a new coffee drinker that knows that she doesn't like certain things, but maybe what could you recommend?
Yeah. Honestly, I typically say for people like you to have maybe more like a darker roast. Because you might be used, like I call it the diesel coffee, you know what I mean, like straight diesel. Darker roasts are much more stronger in taste. And more people who like medium roast, lighter roast like me, get that true flavor out of the coffee, but they might feel like they're not tasting coffee. Like some people who drink light roast might be like, this tastes like tea because it's a really light bodied coffee. Um, but I would recommend a darker roast for you. That way you can ease in from the most normal coffee down the spectrum of a roast. And you could try different coffees and see what properties you get from it.
I like your style. Start dark, go light. Let's do this.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna
So,
do it right.
how many different styles of coffee have you, or beans and grounds have you, like flavors do you have currently on hold, or is there just an original?
We have 15.
15. Jesus.
It's a lot. We're starting to cut down on them because I like to treat my customers as very simplistic. Like I like getting to
Mm-hmm.
the point. And I offer every coffee in a light, medium, or dark roast. It's just that simple.
So besides the 15, there's 3 options of each.
It's five.
That's a lot.
It's 5 coffees, 3 different flavors. So
Oh, okay, okay.
in Colombian, Brazilian, Dominican, and the Haitian one, and then we offer all 3 in a light, medium, and dark roast. So that makes it 15 in total, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that we add hazelnut flavoring here or
Yeah.
coconut this there. Like we don't do that, right? It's just single origin from one farm, but one bean, one bag. You know what I mean? We can blend it. It's just single origin. So we have 15 varieties, but it's just because of different countries and different roasts.
Craze is currently having some right now.
Hello?
Yeah, we're thinking about slimmering it down because I like making it very simple for my customers. So what do you want? Coffee? You want a light, medium, or dark? You want Costa Rican, light, medium, or dark? How do you want it? Fine grind, medium, coarse? What are you looking to do? Cold brew? What are you looking to do? Espresso? And I'll guide you through that process based on what you want or what you're looking for. You know, some
Yo,
people.
I need to. I like the Don Carvajal cold brew so far. I feel like that shit is so. It's a really good one because I feel like it's not really too strong. Sometimes cold brew can be really bitter because it gets like, I don't know, something about how they make it. But I feel like y'all add a little something to it though. What do y'all add to it? There's like a little secret,
Secret sauce, baby.
like a little secret. There's like a touch in there.
Now we make it with a lot of love. You know what I mean? I just think
I'm gonna guess that it's mocada. I feel like it is. But
Not even
you
close.
don't gotta confirm nor deny. You don't gotta confirm nor deny.
I would say a cold brew. I really put in a lot of work. A good friend of mine like put together the recipe for me, and then I experienced with it. And he's sipping it right now. All right.
Oh, by the way, I totally saw this. What's happening at Chef Papi's? Shout out to everybody at Chef Papi's.
Yo,
Ed. If I'm gonna try coffee, I just found where I'm gonna go try it.
You gotta hit it up. You gotta hit it up.
and I don't think we said it live, but I actually bought this shit this weekend. You guys were at the market right over here by Dewitt Clinton High School. What's the organization that does it?
It's the James Baldwin on just James Baldwin online.
Yeah, James Baldwin something. But they're right here on Dewitt Clinton High School, the little market. You guys are there every Saturday, right?
Yep, every Saturday.
So I went and I got 2 bottles of the cold brew. Bro, but honestly, bro, like I said, from your social media, it cut out earlier. I don't know if you answered my question or not, but I feel like there's I picture you like frolicking in coffee fields.
Frolicking. What do you think? What do you think in brown fields like coffee?
Picking which blends you're gonna use. And so like my thing is like, do you go to places and check it out, or is it something that you kind of try the stuff here and then you kind of figure out where you want to get it from, or have you actually gone to places to be like, yo, I need to go here to check out what the
pre-COVID?
I'm just I don't know whatever the process was before or like now even what's the process at?
I'll tell you this much. I've been to farms pre-COVID. I went to farms during COVID. I was in DR like 3 weeks ago. I landed. I hit the farm. I was not playing games. I just went straight to the field and I got to it. We got to try different coffees and stuff like that. So it was a good experience. 3 weeks ago, I flew to the farm. I spent 5 days there. I was disconnected from the world. And what we do is we go to the farm we see the process, we learn the history, we see what kind of methods they use to be eco-friendly, to be sustainable, to see how we protect the soil. Is the coffee shade grown? Is the coffee organic? What do you do to make it organic? Keep it organic? What do you do to protect the crops? So there's a lot of questions. When I sell coffee to my customers, I hope that they trust me in the process of it being eco-friendly, sustainable, and all of these things. And it's because we're a directly traded company, so we buy it directly from that farmer. You know what I mean? So I went to Colombia last summer. This summer I went to DR. And every summer I make it a goal to go to a different country, different origin every time. So like I wanted to go to Costa Rica, but COVID is hard right now. I wanted to go to Brazil.
Oh, and the rules and regs to getting in Costa Rica is ridiculous right now. Like,
yeah. So my origin trips have been really delayed. But I pride myself on going to meet these people and meet these farmers. So there's two kinds of tests you could do. There's a test where they could mail you the coffee and you could try it here, or you could actually just try it there. And you get two totally different qualities because of the traveling, the ocean, the plane, the this, that, the different humidity levels. So yeah, I like to just go. And I'm a big people's person. So I like to be there. And you hit me like in Colombia, they hit me with this bandeja paisa, man. And then they had in the morning, they had the hot chocolate. You throw the mozzarella. I was like, ooh.
I'm
all about the culture, man. I'm all about the culture. I'm all about
all about the fucking culture.
Usually, traveling, when you travel, one of the first things I like to do personally is try the coffee where I'm at.
Yeah.
So if I go to Puerto Rico, I went to the actual Puerto Rican brand they use out there. DR, I'm used to, whatever brands they have. Santo Domingo, and I forgot the other one. Even when I went to Europe.
You know what coffee's good?
What?
McDonald's coffee, low key.
Oh my God.
It is. It's pretty good. As far as like American coffee goes.
And you get 7-Eleven as well, right?
No. That's tar, bro.
You mean diesel? I think he meant diesel.
Diesel.
Yeah.
So it is part. It's like going to another country, trying the cuisine. You gotta try the coffee.
Not for real.
What is your favorite so far in the trips that you've been on? Yeah.
Thanks for taking my question, Rick.
Well, you were mute.
I know, I didn't see that.
Favorite country. Ooh. You know what? I have to say biased because in DR, although I was very happy.
This is an unbiased answer, people.
No. I'm gonna tell you both points. So DR, I would have said yes, but it's not, right? Because I love my country, I love my people. I literally want to specialize in Dominican coffee because there's no face.
We don't have a real.
There's no representative for it. You know what I mean? And there's a major leading brand in the country that leads it, but I don't think they're the one to do that. They're just not the one.
I don't really like our coffees that we have down there. I'm just gonna be honest. I drink it because that's what we got. What we down there.
There's some really good ones, but they're just not up there because the competitive market is very cutthroat over there. So we'll get into that a little later. Anyways, I would say Colombia was a better trip because it wasn't in COVID. DR, I couldn't do much. At 7 o'clock, I had to be indoors or I was going to jail. So it was very strict, very to the point. Colombia, I got to see the culture. I was in the mountains, then we went back to the city. I got to explore the culture, have some dinner, meet some old friends, and that's the beauty of like doing what I do. Like I get to travel for these coffees, meet some really amazing families that have been doing this for generations. And you contribute to the economy of that country, of that family, of those kids, purchasing their crop, So Colombia was really nice because I got to meet some really nice people and got to explore the Colombian culture too, I'm the type of person where if I had money, like real money to blow, I would just travel the world. Like I just love to travel, explore, try new food, try new drinks, and just try new things, So I would say Colombia because it was something totally different.
There's a YouTube show in there for you, bro. Like Parts Unknown.
Like the Traveler Man?
But like coffee only.
Oh, that's actually, I would watch that.
That's that cafecito around the world. Then we go
Yo, I would watch that. You got to say it right now. Go copywritten Hector Castillo Carvajal.
Don Carvajal.
Traveling, Don Carvajal, traveling the world for
First,
coffee.
guys, you heard it here first.
Don't try to steal the idea.
I'll tell my lawyer to tune in. Yeah. So Colombia was it for me. I would say that was Colombia definitely out of the two.
Now, what's your favorite coffee?
When you wake up in the morning, what's your go-to?
I'll tell you the truth. Tell this to my friends and they laugh at me. Some mornings I don't even drink coffee. I wake up at 5.
What?
Yeah. Sometimes I wake up, I make my gym meal, I go run to the gym, then I get back, then I shower, then I go to like the warehouse, pick up the coffee, then I go to the office, do my day, then I have meetings, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta go to sleep because I gotta wake up at 5 the next day again. Then I wake up, go roast coffee. Then if I have 10 minutes while I'm roasting coffee, like this thing is at 407 degrees. I'm like, okay, can't take your eyes off because you're gonna start a fire. So point is, some mornings I don't drink coffee because I don't have time right now. But it's like having kids. Like my coffees are like having kids. Like I got 5 kids, and I love them all equally. Because if I didn't love them, I would.
There's always a favorite though.
I'll say this much. Okay. I think Dominican coffee holds dear to my heart. I don't think it has the recognition it deserves. And meanwhile, Dominican coffee competes right next to Colombian, and people glorify Colombian coffee as the best of the world. I think
it's because what's the name of the character that they use for Bustelo? They got a shop on 55th all about him.
Oh, Juan Valdez.
Yeah, Juan Valdez.
Yeah. So DR actually came runner-up to Colombia. Like
who's like? Do you know the history of Juan Valdez? What's his deal?
It's not a real person. I'll tell you that much. So Juan Valdez is like this made-up character,
like Johnny Appleseed, but for coffee.
Like pretty much like Uncle Sam for the war or taxes. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm just wondering if it was like a real dude. Like, it
wasn't a real person. They just literally
like a coffee guru in Colombia.
It was a concept they wanted to sell.
Oh,
like
I'm sure an American advertisement company.
You know what I mean? Like if he wasn't my grandfather, he would have been like a Juan Valdez, more or less, right?
Oh, but that's your actual grandfather on the label.
But this is a real person. You know what I mean?
No, but I feel like
I like that. That's dope.
You need to brand Hector as the real Juan Valdez. It sounds like he's the one that's really going out there.
I think it's very interesting because pre-COVID, I was very engaged in getting out there and bringing awareness to the brand. And I think right now, like me doing this interview, I have like a panel next week with like some business owners. It's gonna be broadcasted to like almost 1,000 people about economic growth in the Bronx for entrepreneurs. And it's just getting on these panels and speaking about my business experience or getting on more podcasts. Like it's interesting because people are starting to get to know my name, and I always lived, like in a world where I was like, wow, I always wonder if people are gonna get to know my name. You live and time passes and sometimes you pass and nobody remembers you, and that's like the idea I want for my grandfather. Like I think about it like, one day, there's gonna be a new wave of people that come into this world. We're gonna be gone, and it's like, will people remember this? You know what I mean? I think about that. Will this survive the cut, and will this make it generations, and will this feed my kids, and will this feed my kids' kids? I
mean, I think that you are becoming the guy that's on the cover. You feel me? Like you're becoming the Don Carvajal that then is gonna pass the torch to the next Don Carvajal. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I love this shit, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I really want to go. I'm really about that farm life. I really want to go to farms in DR. I don't know. I really
see it now.
Some shit that I
see Craze now with the outfit.
Can you wear overalls, Craze? Just
cause
overalls. Just cause with some rain boots and send me pictures, bro.
I got some overalls and a straw hat. I got all that.
And a straw hat. Say less.
You're not ready.
So I think that so far, first of all, I've heard Hector about a year ago, and the coffee. I think it was a year ago.
Oh wow.
And it's just I kept seeing your coffee, the coffee, the logo everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw you on Aquí Chilling, and I know Steve knows you as well. That's shout out Steve Lucen.
Shout out Steve Lucen.
Loosen.
Hallucinate, baby. So I just was like, yo, I like the fact that he's doing his thing. And then you're on this MasterCard small business thing as well.
Yo,
Uh,
fucking
I
entrepreneur.
don't know you, but it makes me proud of you.
Like,
Right.
Hell yeah, bro.
For a person who owns a small business and is out there doing that every day, with each little success or good piece of news that comes out, I feel like your goal to be the top coffee in DR easily obtainable, and I think that your brand, a few more years in the States, gonna be pretty big. So
definitely.
you're there, man.
Thank
Just you gotta keep doing exactly what you're doing.
Fuck with it.
You know your recipe. You know your audience.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because Craze went to the market and you probably saw the tent and you was like, "Oh, that's them right there. That's them, right?" And I don't mean to like shame anybody, right? But like, you don't see any other vendor at any market with a customized tent, with
Right.
the Instagram, with the logo, with the beans, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I've always been very keen on that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it's just like let people know where you're at. Like, who are you? What do you do? You know what I mean? And I spend a lot of money on marketing content, like the
But
10 and
I think that shows when obviously it's like when people buy it, it's like, damn, I see where it's going. Like, this is luxury. Like, you don't go and buy Gucci for no reason. Like, you want the bag, you want the bag just to take, like, compras out. Like, at that point, like, you want that feel for it. And in a sense, that's what it feels like your brand is leaning towards. It's more like that very luxurious, very gourmet, very, like you said, for a connoisseur.
right. And I also want people to like the component of my brand is also is like ethical consumerism. Like let's be honest. Maybe all of us on this call right now, we don't have time to go protest because we might have bills, we got rent to pay, we got kids, we have responsibilities, and we can't just get up and go and just go protest. You know what I mean? And I think companies now are moving to this sphere, at least mine, where we're like being ethical consumers. You know what I mean? Like I want my consumers to be ethical about where they spend their money. You know what I mean? Like certain companies, you might hear some really bad stuff pertaining to Black Lives Matter and how they tell you, hey, you can't wear black.
Wendy's.
Oh man, I ain't saying no names. So some companies might tell their workers, hey, you can't wear Black Lives Matter promo at while you're on the
I'll
clock.
say it's Starbucks.
You know what I
But
mean? So it's one of those things where like it makes people real conscious of where they spend their money. You know, you really want to give money to the companies that are saying that to their employees, or at least that treat them that way. And that's something that I try to tell my employees, or at least my customers. You know, like be mindful where you spend your money, and where does it go? Does it stay in the community? Do they reinvent it into the people? You know.
And that's
so
about the brand, Don Carvajal. It's a Bronx brand. It's a community brand. I feel like it's also a story. And I mentioned your Instagram stuff. I feel like you know how to tell the story of the fucking, the bean and the essence of the coffee, bro. Like that shit.
Craze is in love with the beans.
I fuck with.
Love
Like
beans.
But to emphasize Hector's point, it just recently came out that three designers came up with the concept to bring back Puma hoops for Puma. It was three black designers. This was on the Hey Now podcast. Shout out to Hey Now. And Puma, the corporation, took the ideas, ran with it. They signed J. Cole. They put Jay-Z as president. They did all these things. But the three people that came up with the entire idea behind the whole thing weren't compensated at all. So,
Yes.
like, a lot of people are wearing Pumas now, and it's because they're being influenced to, once you hear Jay-Z's name attached to something, everybody's like, let me see what that brand is about. If you don't do your proper homework, you might be contributing to the wrong cause.
Right.
So that's just that's why there's certain coffees, that yellow can. I say the yellow can, I'm not gonna say the name. The yellow can, I like it. It's a go-to. I grew up with it. But I'd rather take that yellow can any day of the week over that green cup.
you talking about Green Mountain Coffee?
No, not Green Mountain Coffee. That's
Yo.
by the way, that's disgusting.
That's the office brand.
I can't deal with that shit.
The office brand.
That Diesel. Well, I'll tell you this much. And you know how there's like street beef. You know how
Yeah.
there's street beef and there's like rat beef. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I never knew.
Wait, there's bean beef? There's
Yo.
bean beef?
Crazy. Yo, it's crazy.
Coffee bean beef?
So
Let me know.
I never knew like there'd be beef and coffee. Like really, like, you know what I mean? So like it's very
Who
interesting.
threw your bags off the shelf? Tell me.
It wasn't even like that. It's one of those things where people just see you doing your thing and like they can't, you know, como que no te pueden superar, so they like just copy your whole thing. Like,
Wait, are these Latino people or is this different?
Or
Because
like,
no,
this is a problem with us. We're not
it's your own people,
unified.
they just buying, man. It's your own people, they just buying.
We're,
it's
especially Dominicans. We like to, oh, you could succeed, but not more than me.
So it's the concept of crabs in a barrel. You know what I mean? Like, you ever seen crabs at the fish spot? They just
Yeah.
let each other down. You know, so it's that concept of like, I never thought I'd be in like coffee, bean, cafe,
Bean beef, baby.
crazy.
All right.
So
Yo, let's call them out. Fuck them. I mean, if you want to.
nah, I keep it very political because you never know.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know, I wasn't the one who bit the bullet. You know what I mean?
Off the air, you tell me. So when I see it in the fucking store, I could push that shit off the shelf.
Just knock the whole shelf down.
Yeah, but yo, there's been like 3 brands that have been copying our concepts. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because at some point, like when I came into this coffee stuff, I looked up.
So there's culture vultures in coffee also.
Culture vultures is crazy, right? And they try to get your secret sauce, man. But listen, if you ain't got the sauce, you ain't got the sauce.
Give them the Big Mac sauce. That's what you do. You give them
You
the
know what I
Big
mean?
Mac.
So if you ain't got the sauce, you're just the juice, and the juice don't last that long, okay? But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. So that was an interesting one, talking about that kind of.
So Hector's not gonna say no names.
All you fake ass coffee brands out there,
Man.
we on your fucking necks.
Because sometimes people think it's just as easy as slapping a name on a bag, and it's not like that.
Nah,
And you gotta do your homework.
let us know. Bro. We got some
So-
coffee things.
We're not gonna allow anybody to drink any other brand of coffee on this show.
Not
Than
uptown.
yours.
Know what I'm saying.
Than yours.
Not uptown.
You know what I'm saying?
that's it. I'm starting to drink coffee from this point forward.
Jaylah, you have to drink coffee.
I know why.
You
If
gotta
she
send me
has
some
the-
coffee though.
if she has the flavored cold brew, she'll like it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo,
Like my introduction to the non-coffee drinkers. Like, yo sé que tú no bebes café, pero have this one right here.
Perfect.
Yo.
That's what I need.
Promise you.
it's cold brew. I'm
Money
telling you.
back guarantee.
I'm telling you. And there's a surprise inside the cold brew. I feel.
Oh yeah.
My best friend's Brazilian, and she's like, I'm gonna have to judge that.
Well,
We got
She
you.
knows her coffee.
You gotta let us know. H, we doing 3, 2, 1?
yes, we are. We're going to that right now. So we have a segment on the show. It's called 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
3 things you're watching, 2 things you're listening to, and 1 thing you do to keep your sanity.
This is like a COVID, quarantine.
This is like a COVID quarantine segment,
Yeah.
right? So we'll start off with the first one. What are 3 things you've been watching during COVID?
Hold up right now. All right, boom. Money Heist is number 1.
Let's go.
Best show on television.
La Casa del Papel. That's where it's at, bro. My man is a brainiac genius.
By the way, you gotta watch Locked Up on Netflix. It's called Vis-a-Vis.
Oh
if you like
my
Money
God.
Heist. I'm just saying, it's a pretty good show from Spain.
That sound nice. All right, what else? I'm looking at my Netflix right now. This is just taking 3 years to load. So Money Heist is number 1. Very interesting. Other than that is LA Originals. That was pretty interesting. Getting to know the LA culture.
Yo, that was a good one, bro.
That's a good show. I like that.
That was pretty dope. And then other than that, it was this show called Project Power. That was pretty interesting. I don't know if y'all saw that one.
Yo, I like
Is that the Jamie
That's
Foxx?
the Jamie Foxx one.
Yeah.
I fucks with that shit.
That's my top 3 right now. And like in the beginning of the quarantine, I had 2 weeks where I was just home. I was like, okay, my business is going to shit. What am I gonna do? We're in a pandemic. Nobody wants to buy shit. Then 2 weeks later, I leave my house and I go to stores and I had not one bag on one shelf. Everything was sold out. in 50 stores, and I'm just like,
Wow.
okay, I need money to fucking refill all these shelves. Like I need money to buy enough volume to be able to sell to
People were hoarding.
because they were just going hammer time, right? So people were just going like this. They didn't even know. You know how many customers I discovered during the pandemic because they were just trying stuff. You know, like their favorite brand sold out, so they was like this bag of brown, and they just picked it up.
Coffee and toilet paper are in the same. You need that in your house.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, what two things I'm listening to? Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Right. I gotta hit you with the real facts. Hold on. Oh man. Oof. That's a tough one.
And it doesn't have to be music.
It could be an audiobook also.
It could be audiobooks. It could be podcasts. It could be anything. Just
besides the Rick A Show, what other podcasts? Or
I was gonna say that I don't count, man. You took one already. You took one already. I would say podcast wise, I honestly haven't been listening to much. Besides the Rick
That's because you only listen to this show, right? We get it. We understand.
So that there's that part. I've been very busy lately. Like I've worked every single day of the pandemic.
That's a blessing. God bless.
Are you like a hip hop connoisseur?
Yeah, I am. So it's a tough one. I've been listening to the Pharrell Williams with Jay-Z Entrepreneur. That one hit my line. That was a pretty good song. I resonated with it well. And I would say the Drake Laugh Now, Cry Later, because that's my life right now. You know what I mean? Like my friends sometimes they're like, oh man, I've been working so hard. I don't got time for myself. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're in your 20s. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like find it out, get it, and get to the bag, man. Like just everybody want to admire Bezos and Steve Jobs and all of these people who they idolize, but it's like, bro, they put in work to be there, bro.
Yo, especially these young kids, they're complaining, and it's like, yo, you're young, first of all. Second of all, you don't have kids yet. Shut up, keep it moving, do everything you can now.
Right.
Well, a lot of people want the end result, but don't want the journey. And the journey is sacrifice. There's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made in order for you to be 45 and chilling on a boat.
Yo, but
you gotta be grinding when you're 20.
On the hip hop tip, what are your thoughts on WAP? I feel like this is a controversial, song. But I don't really see why it's so controversial. What do you think, bro? Tell me.
I just think it's because Cardi did it. That's all.
I think it's great.
I'll tell you this much.
By the way, breaking news is getting divorced from Offset.
Oh.
Well, it's not confirmed yet. It's on news cycles, but it's not confirmed yet.
Let me see. Hold on.
That's crazy.
I mean, she probably is, but it's not confirmed yet.
Yeah, I got a question for you after this one. But I would say WAP is a very interesting song. I think that there's a double standard to it. Like, I don't think nobody claps at Plies when he straight says, kitty 101 times. So I think it's a double standard. Like when men talk about crazy things, they don't really make a big deal out of it, but when Megan and Cardi say it, it's like the ending of the world. You know what I mean? I think we're moving to a space where kids might listen to it. You know what I mean? But I think as a parent, you ultimately should control what your kids have access to. And at some point, listen, your kids, you can't control them. You know what I'm saying? At some point, my mom couldn't control me. I just grew up how I grew up. At least, we turned out well. We ain't no Pablo Escobars over here.
Yo, we grew up on the Uchiwali.
Voodoo Brown wasn't a song back in the day.
If my mom knew what people were saying, she would have not condoned. You know what I mean? My mom, whole block, bang bang, you know what I'm saying? What?
Yo, we grew up on Back That Ass Up and the Uchiwali remix.
Uchiwali remix by Nas and Queen's Fine. So.
And so, one thing that you're doing to keep your sanity during this quarantine season.
Crisis.
I'll tell you this much. I started going to the gym last week because they opened back up again. And I've always had the mentality of I don't have time for a lot of things, right? But then I really realized you have time for whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like I do a lot in my day, so I simply hired one more person and made them do 6 hours of my day. You know what I mean? And then I wanted to get rid of something else for my task. So I hired another person to help me out with that. You know what I mean? And you make time if you want. Because what's the point of having all the money in the world if you can't enjoy a run at the gym or a good meal in the morning and you're always rushing, you know? So for me, it's, I wake up earlier now, like 5 in the morning, you know, on like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And I just go to the gym at 6. You know, by 7:15, I'm done. 7:30, I'm back home. By 8, I'm ready. And then I go to the office. And that's my routine. Like I just go to the gym in the morning because I think at the ending of the day, it's such a toll. Like oh, you're tired, you had a whole day, somebody probably pissed you off, you're tight, traffic crazy, the train is packed or something. You're just not in the mood for it no more, and your energy is gone. But for me, it's like when I wake up in the morning, I have a green smoothie or like a egg white omelet or something. I'm fully energized. I'm awake. You know, by the time I get to the office, I already ran. I sweated all I had to sweat. And then I took a nice clean shower and I'm in the office brand new.
Let's go.
Ain't no better feeling than walking down the hallway and your legs is hurting off the exercise. Like, oh, that hurt because it's supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those things like I work for it. You know what I mean? It's like checking your account at the ending of the week. Like my check look better because I put in the work Monday through Thursday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the gym is my little sanity place, you know.
My knee be hurting, but I don't think that it's supposed to.
Crazy's knee be hurting just from sitting down.
I don't think so either.
Go get that checked out, Craze.
I be in the chair too much.
I'm a morning person as well. I can relate to that. So if our listeners want to try Don Carvajal, right? It's available at certain supermarkets,
Yes.
but they could go to the Instagram, which is at Don Carvajal Cafe. Cafe, not coffee.
Yes.
If you have any questions for Hector, he's more than welcome to. He's more than welcome to answer them.
You answer your DMs?
He responds to DMs. He just said that he's very. He likes to interact with customers and potential customers. So, if you're in the Bronx by DeWood Clinton on a Saturday,
I'm saying.
there is a tent.
I'm saying.
Craze recommends the.
You might run into me.
You might run into Craze. You might buy you a cup of coffee.
That's why I go get my Don Carvajal Cafe and my micro.
Cafe?
You
know what I'm saying?
know what I'm saying?
So if you see, my bad, Hector. If you see Craze there, he's got to buy you a cold brew. So
I'm saying on Craze.
On Craze.
On Craze, yeah.
If you catch me there, it's on me.
Swipe.
Yo, with your
Craze gonna be running to the tent.
You already know.
I cut you off. I'm sorry, Hector. What were you saying?
I was gonna say we're also at Riverdale on Sundays. But for the next 3 Sundays, we're not gonna be there because it is a Jewish holiday. And it is hosted at a Jewish place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't know what it is, but it's a Jewish place. And it's gonna be closed for the next.
Probably a synagogue or something like that.
Yeah, that's the word. They don't want to butcher it. So they don't want to butcher it. So yeah, we're there every Sunday, but for the next 3 we won't. But we're also in Westchester County, Hastings, Chappaqua, and Irvington. So if you're there on Saturday or Sunday, pull up on us. If you check our Instagram, we have a market schedule for Saturday and Sunday. Says the address, the times, and the days. So
we'll put up your stuff on there. We'll get your addresses too, because I want to check out.
We'll put it up on the story and on our feed as well. Hector will send me the information. I'll relay it. You want to start your morning right? Get you a nice cup of cafe. And Don Carvajal.
That's my favorite part.
You Uptown's finest coffee.
Uptown's finest.
My favorite part is when customers DM me personally, like, yo, which market are you gonna be at? Because I gotta get that shit from you. That shit is hilarious, yeah.
So if you do, you know, Hector's got a personal Instagram too. It's I think it's dc.heck or something like that. Yes. Or heck dc something.
Yeah.
But hit him up on the coffee page. Try the cafe. I'm gonna get a couple bags for myself. And I'm gonna try the cold brew with Craze.
Let's go.
Yo, bring them through. Bring them through. You already know.
This weekend.
So, Hector, me and Craze got an invitation for you for something else. We'll tell you off air. There's something big coming in October.
I like
And
that.
I'm just gonna drop that teaser.
Hey man, I'll tell you this much. I was born in October. You know what I'm saying? OVO, baby.
Oh, let's go. Heck, thank you so much for being on the show, man. We fucking love you. We love your coffee.
Absolutely.
Thank you
We love the
for
story
your
of the
time and
tea.
everything.
We look forward to see the legacy be built, and we support you all the way. You a friend of the show, welcome any fucking time.
Welcome to the family. You're welcome at any time.
Like they say, muchas bendiciones and many, many, many years of success to come.
Yeah, thank you. Man.
And Jaylah lives in Florida where there's a ton of cortaditos, and she never had a cortadito.
I've had a cortadito before. I just told you I'm not a fan of coffee.
Fun fact, I might go to Miami because there's a company.
Yo,
Mayorga Organics.
let me know.
She's right
Let
there.
me know. I got
Right
you.
there.
It's the way to go. There's a company out there, and like, it's called Mayorga Organics, and homie has this amazing space where he roasts coffee and has coffee shop, and he does cacao too. And he's Hispanic. I think he's Colombian, and it's just like.
Oh wait, are you gonna move into the chocolate industry too? Are you thinking about it?
At some point, we're gonna do chocolate tea and a lot of other things.
Nice
Oof.
tea.
You know, I think coffee.
I'm ready for that.
Limit. You know, I think there's no limit. You know, there's Keurig, there's instant, there's decaf coffee, there's whatever.
Cool.
All over
Then you're gonna make the machine, those machines, then espresso is not gonna be an espresso, it's gonna be the Hector Presso.
When you get the Don Carvajal hibiscus tea, let me know when y'all get on that too.
So thanks to Hector for being on the show. I didn't mean to cut you off. You were gonna say something. Go ahead, Hector.
Yeah, Miami. I'll be out there.
Let me know.
Next Tuesday is Craze Day.
Ooh.
So I don't know what guests are gonna come up. I don't know who's gonna be on the show. I don't know anything.
It's Craze Day. That's
It's
exactly
Craze
what
Day.
that means. You're just
It's
gonna have to
all
wait.
about Craze.
We'll see.
Craze got some big announcements next week to make also about October. And it's whatever Craze wants to do.
Let's do it.
Hector, thanks for coming on. I'll put up the schedule for Saturdays and Sundays where they'll be at. I forgot my sign out.
Yo, just
Much love and God bless. Much love and God bless. I'll see you guys next week.
Wait, by the way, happy Independence Day to Costa Rica, Central America.
Happy Independence Day, First of all,
Guys.
Costa
Give us a
Rica
little
said.
love just because we're not Dominican.
Hold on a second. First of all, we're celebrating Latin Heritage Month starting today. I put up something on our Instagram. Did you know that the inventor of color television was Mexican? You didn't go to our Instagram, find out. Second of all, at the beginning of the show, you said you didn't drink coffee. I got a call from Costa Rica, the government, and they said that you are no longer a citizen.
Whatever.
Because you don't drink coffee. So happy Independence Day to Costa Rica.
Hector just
Happy Independence Day to Mexico.
Like most Dominicans do. He just changed my mind, darling.
Don Carvajal Cafe at your shelves in the supermarket. Start your morning right. God bless. Much respect.
Ya tú sabes.
Thank you so much, bro. Heck, later, bro.
Buenas noches.